Yes, 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 it's full price week. No, the worst marketing pitch ever. Hello, folks. Thank you for watching yet another fine episode of Johnny Does Dallas. Today we are going to examine the metaphysical connotations involved with the New Age philosophy of flying a plane. Typically, I try to avoid vehicles, in part because they're much larger targets, but also because until within the past 2 years, I was a very exceedingly poor pilot. And that really just comes down to lack of practice. Now that should have hit, really. It should have hit. I'm very disappointed that it didn't hit. What else? What else? I'm using a knife and a pistol, so that should make this slightly more difficult. I can't remember what my secondary weapon is. I'm inclined to think it's a hand cannon. La 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 la. Anyway, I had hoped that I would... This is not the plane commentary, but the plane does feature very prominently in this gameplay, so settle back in for a wide range of whatever. I would like you all to answer a question for me this week, and that can be answered very succinctly in the chat. What are your favorite bands? I need more music for the times when I can't record a gameplay, or can't record a commentary, I should say. And it's always nice for me to have music I can fall back on. Was it kind of a dirty thing to do? Yes, of course it was. But this is Heroes. There are people with untold numbers of cheap weapons, workbenched items, and God knows what else. But if anything, you could if you wanted to take something very valuable from this commentary, it's that you shouldn't play this map. Perhaps that I will link in the video description the first video I made on this map, which was how to Seaside Skirmish, which lasted all of 30 seconds. Excuse me. But so we're in a car again, and that's not fun at all. But yes, answer questions. Tell me what your favorite bands are. Tell me your favorite songs. Give me something that I could work with, because it's nice to know. And occasionally you all like things that actually are nice to listen to. Now, one of the most pesky things about this map is when people drive a tank right up there. And I fucked that up rather poorly. These bastards having shot down my plane. I probably should take this time to fast forward. But... Right, so now that we've engaged super speed mode, I don't quite know why I didn't... that's inconsequential. So after we've gone through this, I got marked. Right, and we're back. So now that we've taken off, we're here. And what are we doing here? Yes. We are flying on a very circuitous route. From the back, we're going to try and pick off both. We'll only get one, but that's okay. One is better than none, and it's a pain in the ass for them to get up there. And unfortunately, I miss it. That should have killed him, really, but... Shunk! And finally, we've crushed the enemy. Now comes a part of the video which I'm not particularly proud of, and that's when I got downed behind enemy lines. I don't quite know what this accent's supposed to be. It's almost an upper class sort of British accent. Presumably from up north in the Yorkshire area. Oh God, I've slipped into a stereotype. I mean, of course, I could sound like I'm from Northern Ireland, and I could have all my syllables run together, and that would be equally fun, but why? Fiddle-dee-dee. Oy, I've slipped into a stereotype again. Or I could go down south to Dublin, because Dublin has a much more poetic quality to its voice. I couldn't really heal at this point, because there were people behind me, and they were reasonably accurate, so wanted to make sure I was well out of range. Typically this area behind that, like everything up and behind that, those two trees is fine, so well beyond visual range. For those of you who think this might be a runaway game for us, it wasn't. We ended up losing because flags are very fucking important. I could try and do a Welsh accent, but I don't know how well that would go because the Welsh is very breathy. Welsh. A language which I can't understand, spoken by a people who I can't understand. Let's see. What other... We could go down to Dorset, or Somerset, or even Cornwall, with all these R's that just last longer and longer. No, I haven't a clue what they were supposed to sound like. But this is making if this makes the commentary much better for you. Oh, incidentally, secondary question: what do you all think of the movie Pacific Rim? My fiancée and I have a very, very violent debate about this, so I'm very curious as to what you all think. Was it worth it? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it shitty? Is it well made? Is it good sci-fi? Is it bad sci-fi? Were the monsters too rubbery for you? All these questions must be answered. Now, originally I'd come back here, sneaking clandestinely up here, because I wanted to steal a plane. But I don't know why they put this large lump of rock out there. It doesn't actually serve any helpful purposes. He ejects the plane that I wanted to have. But I shanked him just fine. And there's the targets. We really should have won this game. Now this was more for... I don't quite know why I didn't engage on him. My pistol accuracy would have trumped his almost assuredly won. But this field has no cover whatsoever, which is very sad. Filler music, of course. Oh, it is the medium range pistol. I was completely wrong. I'm terribly sorry. In many ways, that was the worst gun to bring on this map, because the medium range pistol, even with its buff, not nearly as good. I tell you what, if there were, if by some miracle this game ever gets patched and significantly improved, it would be really, really cool if we could increase team sizes to like 16 or 32 and we could have massive battles of sorts on these fields, because that would just be a lot of fun. That being said, what else? This is a good vantage point. Easy to And we are approaching the end of our commentary, so I will try and say something philosophically valuable. What is the sound of one hand clapping? Bloody annoying. In a righteous world, the keg would have gone off. Oh, I do not like these vehicles. And I'm going to die here. Annoying bastard. Sneaking through the tall grass. So, really, guys, the moral of the story here involves three things. The first is to find someone you love and stick with them. The second is never to play this map. The third, and I cannot emphasize this enough, don't play this map. If you have to play it tipsy, like I did. Defeat!